Every day I wake up, wake your ass up.
The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?
We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get in some front page.
All jokes aside, Drake came a long way, bro. When you think about that record right there, and think about how he grew in the game, he did come a long way. You got to give him
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
There's no doubt in that. Just you.
that. Yeah, even though he got his ass busted last year, by Kendrick.
Just can't stay positive.
He's
Gotta
never
go
going
back.
came a long way.
All right, well, let's get in some front page news. Let's start off with Thursday Night Football. The Chargers beat the Vikings 37-10, and tonight is game one of the World Series. Blue Jays versus the Dodgers at 8 p.m. on Fox.
See what I'm saying? That's exactly what I be talking about right there.
On Drake's birthday.
What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, MB, Jess, Charlamagne. How y'all doing?
Hey, girl.
Peace, Mimi.
Good morning. All right, well, we start this morning in Washington, where today was supposed to be payday for federal workers, but with Congress still deadlocked, those checks are not coming. Meanwhile, frustration is mounting as the pay fight hits another roadblock on Capitol Hill. Now, the Senate, they blocked 3 different bills yesterday, one from Republicans and 2 from Democrats, all aimed at making sure federal employees get paid while the shutdown drags on in its 4th week. Now, Republican Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin, he pushed a bill to pay only essential workers still required to work. So your air traffic controllers, your TSA agents, your military personnel. That bill failed 54-45. Democrats, they blocked that plan, saying it gave too much power to the White House Budget Office, letting them decide who gets paid and who doesn't. Instead, Democrats, they offered 2 separate bills that would pay all federal workers, including the 750,000 who have been furloughed and sent home without pay since October 1st. Now, that bill was introduced by Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen, and it included a provision to stop the layoffs during the shutdown. Then the second bill from Michigan Senator Gary Peters would cover back pay from the start of the shutdown through the day it would take effect, but Republicans blocked those bills. Still, some lawmakers say they're working to find a compromise. A few Democrats, including Senator John Ossoff, Raphael Warnock, and John Fetterman, they voted to advance the Republican bill, saying that essential workers needed to be paid even as negotiations continued. And while that debate continues over who gets paid and who doesn't get paid, Trump says he's found another way to make sure some workers get a paycheck. Let's listen to that.
Friend of mine, talking about donors, a friend of mine, a man that's great. I'm not going to use his name unless he lets me do it. He called us the other day and he said, I'd like to contribute any shortfall you have because of the Democrat shutdown. I'd like to personally contribute any shortfall you have with the military, because I love the military and I love the country. And today he sent us a check for $130 million. And that's going to go to the military, yeah.
So where's the money? Where's the money? I need my money now. They ain't got paid in weeks. Where's the money?
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens with that. He just said that it was a personal donor. He did not say any names. There's been no word yet on if the military has received that. So we'll continue to follow that. But today marks day 24 of the government shutdown. Neither side has been able to reach a deal. And as hundreds of thousands of workers wait for their next paycheck, President Trump is preparing to leave for Asia with no compromise in sight. So
that's a great headline to follow, though, Mimi, because he announced that somebody gave him a check for $130 million for the military. Let's follow it and see if he actually gives it to the military. Because, he'll say something and then become a headline and everybody will say, well, Trump got $130 million and gave it to the military. I bet you they never get that money.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that. We will definitely continue to follow that. And President Trump says his next move in on the war on drugs could target people on land, not just at sea. So he's calling the recent U.S. military strikes on drug smuggling boats a big success, saying that traffickers are now moving more drugs on land and no longer on sea. So he says that his team will brief Congress about the plan. He doesn't think that they will need permission to move forward on a formal declaration of war. So President Trump, he's promising a tougher approach on the drug trade. And let's listen to what he had to say.
Well, I don't think we're going to necessarily ask for a declaration of war. I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country.
Damn.
Okay, we're going to kill them. They're going to be like dead.
Dead.
Damn.
But you know what they were saying, Mimi, and I don't know how true this is because, you know, people are conspiracy theorists and all that other stuff. They were saying that a lot of the boats that he was actually hitting was fishermen boats, that they weren't actually
That's
drug
not a
boats.
conspiracy. That's true.
No, they said a bunch of them. It just wasn't one.
Well, I heard about
that
2.
is
I don't know about a bunch of them.
I heard about a couple too, but they're just saying, and then there were 2 survivors. And so they were sent to what I think it was Ecuador, Colombia. And, you know, so there's a lot going on. There was a woman who said that her husband, who was a fisherman on his way to work, was killed. And so, you know, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, he's backing Trump up, saying that the military will go after drug cartels the same way that we went after terrorist groups like Al Qaeda. But not everyone is on board. Lawmakers on both parties say they haven't been given clear information on exactly what's happening, and leaders in Latin America are calling the U.S. strikes illegal and murder. Now, Trump also, he's taking aim at Colombia and Mexico, claiming that both countries are run by drug cartels, something their government strongly denies. And right now, it's really unclear whether these land strikes could happen and what they will look like. And so we'll see if Congress steps in before things escalate any further.
All right. Well, thank you, Mimi. Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back to some front page news. Some quick sports. In Thursday Night Football, the Chargers beat the Vikings 37-10. And tonight is game 1 of the Major League Baseball World Series, the Dodgers versus the Blue Jays.
Man, what game is Kendrick walking out to perform Not Like Us, man? That's what inquiring minds want to know.
It might be game 1. That's what you would think, right? Game 1.
Is it in L.A.? Is game 1 in L.A.?
Oh, Toronto today? Oh, yeah. It's Toronto tonight. So probably game 3.
Okay.
What's up, Mimi?
Good morning, MB, Jess, Charlamagne. How y'all doing?
Hey, girl.
Peace, Mimi.
Good morning. Well, we start this hour with talk that is raising eyebrows and a few constitutional questions this morning. Former Trump advisor Steve Bannon says the president's inner circle is already planning for a 3rd term in the White House. Now, Bannon made the claim during an interview with the Economist this week, saying he's certain that Trump will be president in 2028. Let's listen to some of that exchange.
He's going to get a 3rd term. So Trump 28, Trump is going to be president in 28, and people just ought to get accommodated with that.
So what about the 22nd Amendment?
There's many different alternatives. At the appropriate time, we'll lay out what the plan is, but there's a plan, and the country needs him to be president of the United States. We have to finish what we started. Trump is a vehicle of divine providence. He's an instrument. He's very imperfect. He's not churchy, not particularly religious, but he's an instrument of divine will, and you can tell this of how he's pulled this off. We need him for at least 1 more term, right? And he'll get that in 28.
I hate that this conversation has been normalized. I mean, every time they have this conversation, I'm just like, so just nobody cares about democracy anymore. And for everybody who says things like, well, that means Barack Obama can run. I keep trying to tell y'all, if Trump gets to run again for a 3rd term, it doesn't matter who he's running against. The fight is already fixed. Okay?
Definitely already fixed. Constitutional experts say there's no real path for this to happen. They say changing the Constitution would take 2/3 of a vote in Congress or approval from 2/3 of U.S. states, something that they say that is nearly impossible. And another theory that's been floated, having the vice president in 2028 step down so that Trump could take over, but that's also seen as legally shaky. 2 terms, like you said, Charlamagne, should mean 2 terms. But anything else would be unconstitutional and could spark a major political crisis. But we are in several major political crises right now. So who knows what the end will look like. So
what if he just refuses to leave in 2028? You know, if he just refuses to leave, and then we find out how many of those generals and admirals actually did pledge their loyalty to him when they had that meeting with Pete Hegseth a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For sure. There's so many different possibilities. So again, you're right. It's being normalized. But I think that Trump, when he says he's going to do something, people should really pay attention. We tend to laugh it off like, oh, that's impossible. But is it? So we'll continue to see what that looks like. All right. Well, Target is cutting jobs in what is being called the biggest shakeup the company has ever seen in a decade. Now, the retailer announced its plans to eliminate 1,800 corporate positions as it tries to jumpstart growth after 4 years of sluggish sales. The cuts will include about 1,000 layoffs and another 800 jobs that will not be filled. Now, that's roughly 8% of its reduction in workforce. Now, affected employees will be notified next week. Now, the layoffs come as Target faces mounting challenges from declining store traffic and inventory issues to a drop in stock value. Now, shares have fallen about 65% since 2021, while competitors like Walmart, they have surged ahead. And beyond pressures of business, Target has also faced public boycotts. We know that one led by Pastor Jamal Bryant, a 40-day fast, which happened earlier this year after the company scaled back diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Now, Target says that the job cuts, though, they will not affect store employees or workers in its warehouse. The layoffs are only limited to corporate positions. They say those that will be losing their jobs, though, will receive pay and benefits through January 3rd, along with severance packages. So there's a lot of shakeups happening there.
That's crazy.
But while one retailer is cutting back, another one is making a comeback. Toys R Us is reopening more than 30 stores across the country. Yes. Just in time for the holidays. This will include 8 permanent flagship locations and more than 20 temporary holiday locations. It's the latest revival for the once dominant toy retailer, which filed for bankruptcy back in 2017. They closed more than 700 stores nationwide back then, but the brand has been slowly rebuilding under a new ownership. Now, at its peak back in the 80s and 90s, Toys R Us was the destination for kids and parents. Do you guys remember this? Famous for its giant stores, aisles of toys.
Yes,
and
girl, I was so sad when that store went out of business. I was so sad. My son was 3 years old.
Yeah.
Now I got a 1-year-old, so now I got a reason to go back. I'm so happy about it.
Absolutely. And what's that famous jingle? Do y'all remember it? I don't want to grow up.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the company is trying to bring back all that nostalgia for kids these days. And so not only is it nostalgia, they said that the company will bring back, the store's opening will bring seasonal jobs and more full-time positions. So
I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, they would almost have to make themselves like a destination event space. Like it would have to be things for the kids to do inside the store. I don't know if just walking in the store and walking down the aisles will excite kids anymore. I don't know.
You don't think so? See, that's what I was thinking. I was like, kids always want something to do. It's to the point now where kids be like, take me to Target because that's where they have toys.
Yeah.
But now, like you said, they need places for kids to go where kids can say, I want this. I see the new toy. I want a Nerf thing. I want video games. I want
Or it's got to be like a playpen in there. It's got to be something for them to do. Like when you take them to like the American Dream Mall, it's stuff for kids to do.
Yeah.
That's what Toys R Us needs.
But there's a Toys R Us in American Dream Mall, though.
It is?
Oh, it is?
Wow,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so I think you're right. I think both of you are right. I know when I take my son to the store, being able to walk down the aisle and try everything out, because now you just order something from Amazon and it's there, but now you get to play with each little thing.
Yes.
I think they'll like that too,
Yes.
you know? So, all right, y'all. Well, that is your front page news. I want to say, really quickly, a shout out to Howard University. I'm a proud Bison, so happy homecoming to everyone.
Not sorry.
Yes, sorry, I will not be there. I will be at my TED Talk, by the way, which is the website is tedxaltadena.com. You can find all the information there on how to stream it if you want to take a look this weekend.
Nice.
What time? What day and time?
It is Sunday at 10 a.m. is when it starts. I know TED has really strict rules, so I don't know if they're going to be able to live stream all of it, but some of the information will be on the website and you'll be able to see what's available.
Okay.
Thank you, Mimi. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Peace,
Absolutely.
Mimi.
So that is your front page news. I'm Mimi Brown. Follow me at Mimi Brown TV. For more stories, follow the Black Information Network, download the free iHeartRadio app, or visit BINnews.com.
All right.
Thanks, girl.
Hold up. Every day I wake up, wake your ass up. The Breakfast Club.
Y'all finished or y'all done?